Let me provide the context. Why are we here? Firstly, we are here first and foremost to reflect on the first issue is the recent developments, especially the FIFA suspension. Secondly, how do we get out of this situation? Through a mediated win-win compromise. So that's what we want to facilitate in this process. But thirdly also, we want to make sure that out of this we want to, and this is very important, we want to organize a high-level delegation that I will lead together with the sports minister, and we pay for all the critical stakeholders. We go to visit the FIFA headquarters and present our case as a government together with all the conflicting parties, so that on one table FIFA will hear all the different stories in one room. That is important, so that the minister will not be telling his own side of the story in the absence of other parties. SLAFA will not be telling his own side of the story in the absence of other parties. In the presence of the highest level of FIFA executive telling our different stories, so that they are smart enough, they can pick out the falsehoods, the misrepresentations, and then we resolve it once and for all. As a government, we are prepared to do that. And we will pay for anybody who wants to go. Just make no mistake, this new administration has inherited this problem. That is a fact. But we also want to make sure that we provide a conducive environment first to mediate and resolve this problem. Because the people who elected this government want this matter to be resolved now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, but now. This matter has gone on for far too long, so that all the family members here are forgetting to realize is the simple fact that nobody is above Sierra Leone. Nobody. And the actions that this sporting community and SLAFA has taken individually, collectively, is damaging and has damaged the credibility, reputation of the country at a time when His Excellency the President is busy rebranding Sierra Leone at the international level. But SLAFA and the sporting community is spending time involved in internecine civil war. You have to make a decision. This is the responsibility of the Minister of Sport and his deputy and his professional heads. But given the national framework of how these issues are currently working, His Excellency the President has directed that I work closely with the Minister of Sport to support him, to make sure that we engage with the stakeholders again. Those who don't want to go, then obviously we will then go and present that the government has offered to pay and go with them, so that they know the sincerity and credibility and integrity of purpose that this new administration wants to take forward. We will encourage everybody to go. Those who are the critical stakeholders, the government will pay for them. Because we have to do this for the interest of Sierra Leone. This is where we are as of now. I think it's really important that we reflect on these three issues. One is the recent suspension by FIFA. Secondly, the mediation process. If that fails, then we will lead a high-level delegation to FIFA. But let me also make it abundantly clear here. Two things. As a new government, we have inherited this problem. For the past 6 months, we have not interfered into the legal process. That is important because we want to send a very powerful message to FIFA that we are a sincere, credible, legitimate government. Even though we've inherited this problem, we say let the legal process continue. We don't want to be seen as interfering in the legal process, knowing quite well that will be another misrepresented narrative to be used against the government. So we said, let's leave that process. But at the same time, we have to engage with the critical stakeholders to begin to have a common understanding. I think that is important. Secondly, and most importantly, the Anti-Corruption Commission is an agency of the government. And Sierra Leone is an independent state. Make no mistake, Sierra Leone is an independent state of 7 million people. It's sovereign. It governs its people. It doesn't bow down to any dictates from any international partner or agency. Make no mistake, FIFA has its own rules and regulations, yes, but as a government. And by the way, we know that FIFA has been embroiled in corruption. They have been pushed through international mediation processes. We see Seth Blatter and others already being arrested, etc. The indignity of it all. This is FIFA. How dare you tell Sierra Leone that Sierra Leone has to cow down to you? The Anti-Corruption Commission is doing its work. They've come up with their own processes and they are leading on that work. As a government, when we begin to police and coerce other state governing institutions to do what we want them to do, that's how corruption starts. Then we are not better than the outgone government. That is their responsibility, that is their right, that is their mandate, legislative mandate. I think it's important to send this message unequivocally so that we leave here, we're very clear about it. Let's pussyfooting around things. Those who believe that FIFA is important, it's more, no, FIFA is just another body that has its own problems. Let's acknowledge it as well. Let's stop believing that FIFA is so powerful, is so clean, it has never had any corruption issue, all the people there are angels and they are all going to heaven. Come on, let's stop as such. This is a sovereign government. Let's have that clear in our mind. Let's be clear about this. So this is the context I wanted us to clarify. Let's engage with the issues. What needs to happen to move the processes forward? So I want to appeal to you, please, to work with the minister to put together a small, lean, efficient delegation of all the critical stakeholders. And the minister and the deputy minister will submit the list. But all the critical stakeholders must be, even those already involved in the ACC process, must be. They are taken as given. But let me make this also clear, please. Nobody's bribing you, please. It doesn't mean when the government pays for you, you are beholden to the government's position or you don't want to know. You are going as a member of the family. Let's be clear about that.
Professor, on a more serious note, I don't have much to say. I've been saying what I've been saying for the past 5 years. Nothing has changed. Nothing will change. The only thing I'd like to caution you, we'd started to speak a few weeks ago, a little over a week ago. I was hoping we'd have a follow-up because there are things that I really do want to share with you. This is one of the saddest moments for me, and I know that people are pointing the blame game. I'm not patriotic, it's me, it's Chris, but that's okay. We were expecting this. I am appealing to you, I'm appealing to the President. Let us make you privy. Do not go to Zurich, and I want this to be on record, without having the other side, the clear side of what FIFA has, what they know. Do not allow Sierra Leone to go without being privy to certain information. If you should do so, sir, and this is not a threat, and this is not with arrogance, and I'm happy that this is out for the whole country to hear, should you do so, and you're faced with, or Sierra Leone is faced with further embarrassment, the next thing you will hear, Isha called FIFA to ask them to do so and so. This is why I have been appealing. The last time we were here, don't try to look into the future if you cannot address the present. There is a lot.
Can I just make
yes,
one
sir.
point? I think
yes.
They are making an assumption. They are making an assumption. They are second-guessing this administration.
Yes.
They are second-guessing this new administration of competent, seasoned diplomats and leaders that they will turn up in Zurich, cap in hand, not knowing what they want to go. Look, we have said we are going to engage with all the critical stakeholders before we even confirm the delegation and make that move. That is the first point. So don't second-guess the government. That government of competent people who have been managing senior level people, you think we will just turn up without preparing ourselves? What you have been requesting from me, let me put this out in the open. You have been requesting that you want to have one-on-one with me. And I said, no, that is not possible, because the moment we have that, it will give a very negative perspective to the other critical stakeholders that are biased. Secondly, you recall that a couple of weeks ago, we came back from China. You were on the plane. We had a privileged conversation. You wanted a photo opportunity with the president. I said, no, because if you do, and if we allow that, it will be on social media, and people, it's an innocent move. People always ask for photo opportunities to the president.
Yeah.
And the president is always available to do so.
Yes, sir.
But at that judgment, we said that will be counterproductive, because then it will be on social media and people will then interpret it differently. So we said we are not going to do that. So where we are as of now, please don't second guess this new administration. We are a competent, seasoned people who know what we are doing. So if we decide on the high level delegation, we are going to make sure that we engage with all the critical stakeholders, including yourself, so that we have all the facts, bullet by bullet, point by point, evidence by evidence. And secondly, in the meeting that you did not attend, there are substantive issues in SLAFA that has to be addressed around issues around match fixing. I have made it abundantly clear, and we have talked about the issues around corruption, financial governance. So please don't make the mistake of trying to second guess the government, please.
Professor, thank you so very much for clarifying, but again, maybe you misunderstood what I was trying to say. I've been sitting here listening to adjectives being used against FIFA, And that's fine, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But it hurts me because I was a committee member of the FIFA Integrity and Security. So all this talk about FIFA's corruption and the arrests and the platter, I was in. Sir, okay, fine. I'm just saying there are things that are being bandied about, that are being said about FIFA, one-sided, not hearing. I've asked for this meeting with you, and it doesn't have to be a private one-to-one. It can be with the other parties, but give us that time to open up and tell you certain things. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The outcome fine, the meeting good because the Chief Minister Ibu fine, and it was very frank, very plain. One thing we're glad for that we know they take Salon law mortgage to any international organization. Salon is a sovereignty state and the law stands. So the discussion that was fine, put away ACC, because ACC are independent, therefore continue their work, and otherwise we'll continue for finding solution to the problem.
Brema Jalo, Chairman for North Region. The outcome of the meeting is good, and I think this is not the step in the right direction. I think the both parties, if we don't agree, for make sure we write to FIFA and appeal, for make sure they make a temporary lift on the ban. So I think a good in the right direction.
Well, I think a positive, at least we move in the right direction, and that the Chief Minister and the government, at least the route where they don't take towards this process, the brilliant. I then can't hear with respect and with the hope and pray that all the bullet points and the points that we come up in this meeting here all go work with sincerity, as long as we say we come up from the bottom of our heart and we implement it with sincerity, and everybody we decide just like we express now for say we put Salon first before any individual we decide for do that one. I think it would be a very good one.
Honorable Alusaina Lokonte, the chairperson for the Parliamentary Oversight Committee. We not be happy about that. A rather unfortunate it just meet the term with FIFA suspense here alone.
What do you think about the suspension?
Well, we not take them in any good path. We feel say FIFA before come Salon or Salon go meet FIFA before ever then go take up that suspension. So we as Parliament will be the plan for see how we can call the ministry, call SLAFA for let we can see, let they can explain to me, then let we map the way out.
Some people actually don't blame the parliamentarians, especially the oversight committee in the parliament, as one of the problems to this whole issue.
No, not to this present parliament. Not the previous parliament, because we not get problem. We now almost month we don't take now. Now we take 5 to 6 months. So now inherited problem we meet na parliament. We they try for play we role for CC we do the proper way for make the ball roll.